This is the Arctic Tundra. It's a large territory in the north that's warm for only a very short amount of time. You might think that the Arctic is always covered in snow. And that's true if we look a little further north. But this part of the Arctic is called the tundra, and plants and flowers grow during that short summer warmth. At the same time, something really cool is happening. Thousands of caribou babies are being born. You might be familiar with the caribou by their other name, reindeer. Caribou calves are born in the spring, usually in late May or early June, while there's still snow on the ground. They're born at this time because in the Arctic spring, they can easily find food like grasses, plants, and flowers, and they need it. These young caribou calves are already only a few short months away from the longest and most difficult journey of their lives. The Arctic summer is short and usually lasts from June to September. As the summer ends, the number of daytime hours gets shorter and the nights get longer. The large groups of caribou, called herds, can sense that something is about to change. Even the very youngest caribou need to prepare for the long and difficult migration towards the south and warmer weather. The journey south is filled with dangers. And even though the young caribou grow quickly, this is their first migration, and they rely on the herd to keep them safe. Wolves are the primary predators of the caribou, and they're always on the lookout for an easy meal. Meanwhile, golden eagles carefully watch the tundra, hoping to pick out young caribou that get lost or stray from the herd. The large size of the caribou herd is really their only defense. Wolves will hesitate to take on a whole herd of caribou, while eagles can't easily grab a young caribou surrounded by large adults. The rivers in the tundra grow much larger over the summer because the melting glaciers flow into them. It's just one more challenge for the migrating caribou. But they're driven by instinct and they are determined. Giving up is not an option. Every caribou has to keep moving with the herd. If they fall behind or if they hesitate, they can be attacked by wolves. When crossing a river, the caribou have a couple of interesting adaptations or physical features that help them overcome this obstacle. For one, the hairs on their fur are hollow. This traps air to keep them warm. It also helps to increase their buoyancy, which means that it helps them float. Their hooves are also large and wide, so they can use them as paddles to move through the water quickly. By the time the cold winter sets in, the caribou finally arrive at their destination. Even though there's snow on the ground, this place is much warmer than the Arctic tundra they came from. These are the caribou wintering grounds in the northern boreal forest. Here, under the snow, they can find food. During these frozen months, the caribou look for lichens, mosses, and small shrubs to graze on. Remember those specially shaped hooves that help them to swim? Well, they can also be used as shovels to clear away the snow and help them find the mosses and lichens underneath. Unlike the short summer, the Arctic winter is long and dark. The caribou survive by sticking together to stay warm and digging for food. As the winter ends, the snow starts to melt. The days start to get longer, and the caribou instinctively feel drawn to the north. So they start the second part of their incredibly long journey, completing the full migration cycle as they head back to the Arctic tundra. The caribou's migration is the longest migration of any land animal on the planet. Some herds will travel over 4,000 kilometers or more every year between their summer and winter territories, facing and overcoming all the challenges and dangers along the way. The caribou migration is a cycle that repeats every year. It shows us the spirit, strength, and determination of this incredible animal. Their journey is a never-ending and inspirational cycle of survival and endurance.